Hello, everyone. Welcome to
Hey.
the stream. I'm Kel McDonald. I make comics you can read at kelmcdonald.com.
And I'm Alina Pete, and I make comics you can read at alinapete.com. How's it going?
13.
It's
That's
going.
so close.
It's going. Uh, busy,
334
busy.
dice. 300
Yeah,
gold.
Um,
I
you're not
agree.
the only one who has been sick. Spike has been sick, so I've been
Oh
holding on the phone
no. Ah,
at
help.
I'm Focus. While she has been in recovery. Uh, but she's getting back to it now. So
Good. It is shitty. All of the illnesses that are out there this year all suck. They're all awful. I don't like it.
I just found out that the the Wicked musical, is getting turned into two movies, and I hate it.
Yes. Yep.
Um, I why are there movies that aren't a complete story? Like that's defeats
So
the
they
purpose
can
of
make
movies.
more money. Why sell
Now,
one box office ticket when you can buy two? Sell two.
I'm against it.
Yeah.
'Cause like I was looking at the cast and it's like, oh, Jeff Goldblum's the wizard,
Mm-hmm.
Michelle Yeoh's the magic teacher. Like this could be really fun. And then they're like, and it's gonna be two movies, and I was like, never mind.
Nope. No thanks.
Um, while you were impaired with COVID,
Mm-hmm.
what did you watch anything fun?
Okay, so here's the thing. I thought I was like, oh man, I'm feeling sick. I'm coming down with something. I'm gonna get myself Disney Plus, and I'm gonna watch all them comfort shows that I've been wanting to watch for a long time. So like Gargoyles and Owl House and Amphibia and all that great stuff. And then I was so sick that I couldn't even watch TV. Like I just lay on the couch and stared at the wall. And so when I finally did come back to it, I started trying to watch The Orville because I had heard that it was really interesting to see basically how kind of basic white guy would make Star Trek. Like, it's very much Seth MacFarlane's humor. But
Mm-hmm.
and I expected it to be funnier, I think, because it was Seth MacFarlane, and it was just a straight up, what if Seth MacFarlane was trying to write Star Trek, but kind of didn't
Is
get a
Seth
lot of the political
MacFarlane
messaging?
funny?
Not
I'm
really.
gonna challenge
Yeah.
you on that.
Yeah, not really. But what if he was earnestly trying to make Star Trek but didn't understand the social commentary?
Mm-hmm.
And so like the fourth episode, I was like, well, the first couple were fun and it is Trekky and it's really not what I expected. Let's see where this goes. And they did this really ham-handed gender episode where
Yeah.
there's these aliens. They only have one gender, and I'm like, well, that's cool. I wonder what we'll talk about with that. And then they're like, no. They only have one gender because they force sex changes on anyone who's born a woman. And so it was this attempt to do like it's okay to be a woman too thing, but
That's
it
also like a thing about intersexed people,
yeah
kinda.
yeah. But they weren't aware of that while they were writing it because they were just so focused on the message of like, but what if it is okay to be a woman? Maybe,
Um,
maybe it
I
is. And it was very
I
bad.
heard that they lean into the intersex thing more in later seasons.
Interesting.
Like maybe I have not seen it, so because
I
I avoided it
can't
because Seth
honestly
MacFarlane
recommend
is
it.
involved.
Yeah, I can't honestly recommend it.
Um, and I heard that like I heard that it really hates religion.
Mm,
And I was like, that checks out for Seth MacFarlane.
yeah, that makes sense.
What did he do?
And
Hi,
Yo, how's it going?
hello, it's Joe. Hi,
Hey,
Joe.
Joe, I gotta add a
hi,
Joe into this
Alina.
portrait. How you doing? It has
I'm
been
doing
a
well, dear. How are you?
minute.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi,
It's been a while.
yeah, it's been a while since we've had all three of us here. Um,
Sorry.
Oh no, that's on me. I haven't been here for like a month
yeah,
because I've been
Alina's been
sick.
sick. She's been busy. This is fine. Like people got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Also, we're going into con season, so like we don't got shit to do.
Hmm.
Hoy, hoy, hoy. Yeah, indeed. That's right. Yeah, y'all got a pretty good one coming up soon, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And when I say good, and when I say good one, I mean it's gonna be cool because y'all are there.
Yay.
we still don't have a map.
Oh,
Nope. All I know is that they were gonna put us in a really shitty location by a wall, and we said don't because we're paying
And a hot dog stand.
a better booth than that, please. Do not. And they
Um,
went, okay. We went, thank you, because otherwise we want our money back.
I've heard theories that they don't want to release the map because maybe downstairs is empty.
Yeah, I heard that too, because it was really bad last year. The HVAC wasn't finished in the building, so the basement had problems with airflow because it was really hot upstairs. So the AC downstairs was on full blast and it was cold, but also it was blowing people's booths over because it was
oh my
so
God.
windy.
It's also like just there weren't good signage to get people down there.
Yes, and that's the thing I was
Um,
most worried about for them because I was like, I don't even know how to get down there. I can see that there's people exhibiting down there, but like how?
yeah, I did manage to find my way down there. I talked to the Unicorn Empire people.
Cool.
And because I gotta get whatever their new shirt is.
That is true.
Though their new shirt this year is Barbie shirt, and I don't want a Barbie shirt.
Yeah. Draw your eyes too weird. I gotta draw you with cuter eyes. Your eyes were too scary.
So
That's better.
Yeah, so we were also going to be stuck in the basement. And I was telling other people that apparently my superpower when dealing with Reed Pop is my willingness to use the phone.
Good.
Because everyone hates the phone.
I mean, that's how we got moved to a better place. Is we just called them. We were like, "Yo, we've got a lot of seniority, and you put us in the shittest spot, so don't." And they went, "Okay."
Yeah. Well, Sam called them after I said I was successful at calling them.
Oh, good.
So,
we have you to thank. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
I was like, being annoying on the phone is harder to ignore than being annoying
on email. Exactly.
Yeah, an email you can just stop reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the phone, you have to listen to it.
Also, maybe the judges of the Hugos are guilty of espionage.
There's oh boy, we're
What?
getting into the Hugos, boy. It's a
Okay,
lot.
Joe, do you know anything about what's been going on with the Hugos?
Jeebus.
Nope, not a single thing.
Good
Well,
story
the
for you,
short version,
my
a
friend.
whole bunch of them. And so there were a bunch of after the Hugos every year they release like how the votes shook down, so people can see not just who was nominated but like who almost got nominated, like maybe was a few votes away.
Yeah.
And there were several titles that had a lot of votes that had an asterisk next to them that just said deemed ineligible.
And people were like, "What does that mean? And why
Yeah,
are they
people were
largely
like,
Chinese authors?"
Wait,
and
what?
so it was mostly Chinese authors were deemed ineligible. Joe, if you don't know, the Hugos are in a different location every year, and last year they were in China.
Okay.
So people were like, did the Chinese government like
mandate
interfere with the Hugos
Yeah.
to censor these people because it was people who like they were Chinese authors, and because they're Chinese American, they have criticisms of like the way the Chinese government behaves. Or they're talking about Chinese history in ways that are maybe not approved by the Chinese government. So that was the theory. And then turns out like all the emails discussing the nominees got leaked.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what happened. What happened instead is the guy in charge was like, China will have a problem with this, so we should get rid of these titles. So
Yep.
he was doing the censorship that he thought the Chinese government would want. So he's being racist on both ends.
Yep.
Racist about what the Chinese government wants, racist, like signaling it. He basically went through authors like social media for mentions of China, and he is so racist against Asian people that he also marked someone who visited Vietnam, because I guess he doesn't know that Vietnam is a different country. Um,
Yep.
so
And also,
all
keep
this
in
stuff,
mind, China didn't ask them
yeah.
to do this. There was no, like, the Chinese government was not involved here at all. He was self-censoring
Hmm.
the entire organization.
And then also, he got mad at he threw out a bunch of votes from Chinese fans, because the way the works is you can submit who you want to be nominated, if you buy a ticket to Worldcon. So I'm going to Worldcon next year. I am allowed to
Same.
say I think these books should be nominated.
Same.
Um, and so the well, you're going. I thought you were going the year after, Alina, or
2025.
yeah, I can submit for the 2024 ones.
Oh, okay, cool.
Um,
So I'll be the year
yeah,
after.
so yeah, so you're the so the next ones I can vote, and then the ones after that Alina can vote.
Sweet.
Um,
That's how you conquer the world.
Basically, yeah.
yes. And so a few years ago, the Hugos had a problem where they realized that their nominations were being manipulated via slate voting.
Yep. This
Um,
was. Is this going all the way
so
back to the Sad Puppies, or is this more recent than that?
yeah, so this is the Sad Puppies thing. So
That's a whole separate tangent we won't get
basically,
into, but oof.
but it leads into how he justified his other
Yeah.
shitty decision.
Yeah.
Uh Basically what happened, Joe, is like a decade ago, a bunch of right wingers were like, we all buy tickets to Worldcon, and then we all submit the same books to
Mm-hmm.
get nominated.
Hmm.
Because
Um,
too many people of color are being nominated, and we hate it.
Oh,
yeah. So
oh my.
so they like
And
picked a
women.
bunch of right-wing books, and they all
Yeah.
voted together and organized, so that way they were like, our combined effort will make our books at least more popular than some of the queer books or
Mm-hmm.
and people of color books.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, the Hugos has a rule now that if you get caught slate voting, your votes will be thrown away.
Okay.
So for this year that it's in China, because it's in China, a bunch of Chinese fans can buy tickets and can vote for the first time.
Hmm.
And so they all voted for books that are popular in China.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
because the population of China is huge, um, a lot of those should have been nominated, but he just threw them out because he was like, this is slate voting. Even though
Mm.
if he even did the tiniest bit of research, he would have been like, these are just the best sellers in China.
Yep.
Like,
Like it
Right.
was almost like a word for word of the top five.
yeah.
Yeah, it was very
So
stupid. Also, there's been
lots of
troubles with this guy
racism going
before.
down.
He's a known problem.
Yeah, and so lots of racism going down. But apparently, um, one author who was disqualified said that she got a call from the US government asking her for information about the Hugos.
Oh, is this
Um,
Shiran?
yeah.
Oh yeah, they're cool. They they're one of
Um,
the ones who really got screwed over by this.
yeah.
Also, read their book. It's so good. The Iron
Yeah,
Widow,
their book was really good.
fucking amazing.
I some of their recent behavior has made me side-eye to them a little bit, but
Oh
this is
yeah.
unrelated to the Hugos. This is different behavior that I won't go
Mm.
into.
I just know that some of my favorite authors did win,
Mhm.
including the person who run. I don't know if you're familiar with the short story, The Rabbit Test. It really, really was powerful, and a lot of people were talking about it early last year. Because it's all about the state limiting abortions. So it's really relevant this
What?
year. Yeah.
That's pretty
Um,
cool.
It's an amazing short story. You can go and read it if you can. But they were one of the ones who I think got kind of semi dogpiled on various social medias, and then wrote a big thing saying, you know what, I rescind my I rescind my Hugo. I don't
Yeah.
want to actually be a winner. Which isn't actually possible. Like, you can write a nice thing and be like,
Yeah,
I don't
you have
accept
to
it, blah blah
decline
blah.
the nomination. You
Yeah, but
can't,
you're
I think,
still listed as the winner for it. And so then
Mm.
let a bunch of other people to dogpile other authors, including Ursula Vernon, who's won quite a few Hugos, and be like, "How come you're not giving back your Hugo? How dare you? How dare you keep it? Are you therefore condoning this sort of behavior?" And they're like, "There isn't a way. I could put out a statement, and that's lovely, and I'm glad that some people have, but like, it doesn't actually do anything." And what we do
Mhm.
need to do is have a conversation about how the Hugos is run, and not
Yeah.
to blame people who haven't put out a letter saying that they reject their Hugo. It's a big problem.
Word.
Um, but yeah, so um yeah, so apparently a couple of authors have been contacted by the FBI.
Yup.
Um
To be like, what is
and
this?
so
What's happening with this Chinese
make
espionage?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, it's not.
Uh,
It never was.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's some bonkers BS.
yeah. Um but
Clear it
yeah,
up.
wild times on the internet.
Yeah. Jesus. So how are y'all?
Well, I was asking Alina what they watched while sick.
Hmm.
And
I was saying that one of the things I watched and bounced off of very, very quickly was The Orville. And it wasn't because I
Hmm.
wanted to watch it because I'd heard it was good. It was because I had heard that it was like the spirit of the original Trek, but filtered through Seth MacFarlane. And I needed to see what that looked like.
A spirit of the original what?
Of the original Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Like Star Trek,
Oh,
the
okay.
original series, and TNG. In that sort of vein, but filtered through Seth MacFarlane. And I was like, what the fuck would that look like? And I
Right.
expected, I think, a send up of Trek when I went into it, and I was like, oh no, he's playing this straight. He's a Trekkie and wants to write Star Trek, so that's what he's doing. Okay.
Huh.
And the first couple episodes were like, okay, it's a little cringy. It's a guy, the captain's a guy who's been recently divorced because he caught his wife cheating on him with a blue alien.
Okay.
And then she's his second in command. She gets assigned as his second in command on the ship he's commanding, and it's like, oh no, drama. Which I'm like, I don't give a shit. There's a bunch of funky aliens and a robot guy, and you're like, okay, I could see how you're just cribbing from Next Gen here.
Um,
Cool, let's see where this goes. And then I think the fourth episode, they run into a very cringy episode about like gender reassignment surgeries and whether or not it's permissible for a parent to decide to reassign their child's gender, which could have been a really interesting conversation, except it was being written
Yeah.
by Seth MacFarlane's writing team, and so it wasn't really about that. It was more about like, is it okay to be a woman? This culture says no. And they didn't really say anything about it. Like there was no good breakdown of the
I
they were trying
I
to do the
didn't
original
hear
series or the next gen thing of like, let's talk about a social issue, but none of us have any idea of nuance
Right.
or what the issue
um
or how to like present it in a
so yeah,
good manner.
so I heard like the scale of McFarlane and Star Trek, it tips more in Star Trek favor as the series goes on, because like
Mm.
I said, they switched that gender reassignment thing to more talking about intersect people as a metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one episode I heard about that's from a more recent season is it talks about how post scarcity doesn't bring the socialism. You have to do the socialism first and then you can get the post scarcity.
Right.
Because basically there's a plot where there's this planet that's hyper capitalistic and like the underclass is like asking the Orville's equivalent to the Starfleet for the technology for replicators,
Mm.
because that will solve their capitalism problem.
Right.
And the answer is it won't, because um the one percenters are just going to hoard this technology and then overcharge you for it, and like
I mean,
so
accurate.
it would just like continue the cycle of them hoarding resources. Only now they have infinite resources to abuse you with rather than just what they got now. So like I heard a lot of people complimenting it for that episode.
Hmm.
But none of the episodes that I've heard like good things about have made me be like,
I gotta
yes,
watch
this
that.
is the thing that I need to check out.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
No,
go on
And
ahead and ask: is it funny?
honestly, no.
No,
Like,
that's.
is Family Guy funny, Joe?
I
so
mean, I
here's
haven't seen it in
here's
like 15 years, but I don't know.
here's one of the cringiest parts for me. There is a black guy character who is on the. He's like sort of. I don't know if you'd call him the Geordie LaForge. He's not an engineer. He's just like on the bridge. It's kind of unclear what he does. I think he's navigation. Anyway, his entire goal or reason to Etra in the first season seems to be to sit there and make meta jokes because he'll always do
Okay.
stuff like jokes about our time where he's like trying to think of a really good example. Like it would be like, man, these computers have gotten so good and small, and he's like, yeah, it used to be a computer took up my whole desk, like
Hmm.
an apple, and you're like supposed to like nudge, nudge, wink, wink at the audience. Like it's not that obvious, but it's like that. He
I
just
see. I
to
see.
reference stuff from our time seems to be his entire, and to say black lines. It's very cringy. I'm like, I can see that there was no black
You're
people in this
telling
writer's
me
room.
the creator of the Cleveland show is bad at writing
Mm-hmm.
black people, Alina?
Mm-hmm. 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 Shocking, I know.
Um,
And that was so sensitive and such a well handled show.
I never saw it.
Truly a nuanced depiction.
Right. Yeah, 'cause I mean, like, Seth MacFarlane is not where I go for nuance depth.
Yeah, when you want to know about what it's like to be black in America, you ask Seth MacFarlane, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
exactly where you go.
yeah.
That's the avenue to take.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Anyway, so I
Oh,
bounced off that real fast. I was like, all right.
well, at least you gave
Uh,
it a shot.
yeah. And then I
Yeah.
watched a lot of Only Murders in the Building, actually.
How
that's
are
a
you liking
fun show.
that?
That was fun. I
Good.
could watch Steve Martin and Martin Short act all day.
Good. Because
They're very good. I like the dynamic with the whole group of them.
Yeah, me too.
I like the part where they're debating on if they should call um the younger girl. I forget the actress's name.
Selena
Um,
Gomez.
Selena
yeah,
Gomez.
they're like, should we call her? And it's like the kids these days seem to hate that.
I love when Steve Martin's character signs his texts, and she's like,
Yeah.
You don't. I know who's texting. It's fine. And then in like one of the last episodes, he goes to send her a text and he signs it. And then before he sends it, he pauses and then he goes like delete, 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 delete.
Yeah, that's
She's training them. It's very cute.
That's how I feel about email. Like, why do we still have to put our name at the bottom of it?
Yeah,
You know
you
who this
never.
is.
It's like
But
weird
yeah,
yeah,
anachronism from
that's
letter
why I'm
writing
a big
days.
fan. I'm a big fan of the built-in signature to an email.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I mean, I get it if it's like from an email, from an email address, it doesn't have your name on it, or or if it's a first time contact.
Yeah, or
But
if you're just
anything,
sort of being more formal.
sure.
but again,
Or-
this is why I like the built-in signature, because I don't got to think about it. And I already have any information that I want you to know at the end of every email by default.
Mm-hmm.
Like my Iron Circus email has the I am a part-time employee who does most of my work on Sundays. Um, like just so someone knows that I'm probably not going to answer them right away.
Mm-hmm.
That's very courteous.
Yeah, so I appreciate um I'm a big fan of the built-in signature.
Right on.
I've never
um
been to New York, but I would like to visit sometime.
uh I Speaking of Star Treks, I've been rewatching Star Trek Discovery
Ooh, how's
Hmm.
that?
to prep for the last season airing.
Yep.
Doug Jones is great. I love him. He's great at being a weird alien guy.
Mm-hmm. It's literally his job
Good job. Good
in many,
job,
many
Doug
different
Jones,
films, and I love it. I love
being a
that for
weird
him and
alien.
us.
Some of the stuff that I think have you seen Star Trek Discovery, Alina?
I have seen just some of it.
Okay, do you know people's complaints about it?
No.
A lot of people think it doesn't feel like Star Trek because it's too dark.
Mm.
Um, and I understand that, but I think that actually it's one of those things that it's a shame that it's the first new Trek show we got,
Mm-hmm.
because I think if we had actually gotten Brave New Worlds first, Discovery probably would have worked better, because
Right.
they're sort of trying to make a point with the darkness that the captain um is not okay and is a shitty fascist like
Yeah.
guy, and like so that darkness is not the norm in Starfleet, and that's supposed to be the point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know the spoiler about the captain, but um
No, but give it to me because I do not mind spoilers.
it turns out that he is secretly from the mirror universe and switched
Ah,
places with his so the reason why it is so dark and he is so brutal is because he is from the mirror universe pretending to be his prime universe counterpart.
good.
Um so all the darkness of Discovery is actually supposed to be foreshadow for the end reveal that he is actually from the Terran Empire. He is not Starfleet.
That's clever. I like that as a series reveal.
Yeah. But before you know that, you see him being super brutal
You're like, what the
and like
hell?
being kind of a shitty person. One of the best episodes is a time loop episode.
Good.
And the thing that starts the time loop, um, is they encounter a space whale, and it's like Starfleet law that they have to help endangered species.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he is so annoyed that they have to stop the military stuff that they're doing to help this animal, because he's from the mirror universe and he would never do that. So like when they're explaining, they're like, tell him what it is and that they have to stop and help it. He's like, why? And it's because it's Starfleet law. Like, we have to take it to a nature reserve
He's
thing.
like,
And
we're in
he's
the
like,
middle of
fine,
important
just
shit
do it.
here.
And they're like, permission to lead the task. And he's like, I don't care. Just get it done. Like, he is like exasperated and annoyed in a funny way that they have to help this endangered animal. Um, so, um, time loop episodes are great. But yeah, so it's like, the other funny thing about Discovery is like, they never keep a captain for more than a season.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so I started rewatching it because Jessie Gender's doing like a retrospective reviews of them.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, I should watch along while she does her reviews. And that's been fun. Have you watched anything fun, Joe?
Kristen and I started watching the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah,
Um,
is it good?
yeah, it's an interesting tone. It's Maya from Pen 15 and Donald Glover. It's a very odd tone, but I like it. It's it's got some action in it, but it's not like super action driven. It's more character driven. It's a lot more of a slower pace kind of thing, and I guess I'm kind of assuming that it's a slow burn that they are building up to something. So yeah, so
They
that's
know that each other is spies.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. And here the not the twist, but the adaptation is that they both sign up to be spies for this for this one specific company, and they are assigned together.
Okay.
So they are getting to know each other and just just being like, hey, I know that we're like fake married, but like what exactly are our personal boundaries here? And it's nice. So yeah, I mean, other than that, like I honestly haven't had a whole lot of chance to watch anything because like I've just been reading them.
I did watch a YouTube. Speaking of spies, I watched a YouTube that explains the plot of what maybe is the worst movie ever made.
Which one is that one?
Argyle.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen it. That's like a new movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard much
I
about that
hadn't
one.
heard of it, and then Corey linked me to this YouTuber being like, "This is a horrible movie, and let me explain to you why." There's like 10 different plot twists, many of which contradict each other.
Cool.
So it was just funny watching this guy get further and further exasperated with the plot. Because the main character writes spy novels, and can't think of an end for her book. She has writer's block. And then she runs into Sam Rockwell on a train, and he's like, "Hey, I'm a spy, and you seem to know a lot of real spy shit." So, basically, she finds out that her books are real, kind of. And then it turns out that her parents are the leaders of the evil spy organization in her books, and that they have brainwashed her into thinking that she's their daughter, and they want her to write these books so that way her subconscious reveals where she hid some secret chip.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
And if that was the only plot twist, he was like, this would have been fine.
Yeah.
The problem is, then it's revealed that not only is she a spy, but she was an evil spy.
Oh, those are the
and
worst
that
kind.
her parents were her boss. So it's like, then why did they brainwash her into thinking that she's their kid and have this whole elaborate plan to find out where this chip is because
Mm-hmm.
she works with them. So you think she would just tell them if they asked because
You'd think.
they're her boss. And so like basically every single plot twist basically undoes the other plot twist, like or doesn't make sense with it.
This feels
Like
like this would be
And it's
solved if
not
we had a writer's room and it was more than just like one person being like, here's a cool idea.
right. Well, it sounds like either A, like that, or that it was written by committee and just like,
Yes.
we're throwing all these ideas, and then like, we'll fix it in the editing room, and then
And
the
you
editor was
can't.
like,
You can't.
oh, I can only do so much.
so
Oh,
so
God.
here's the thing is it's based off a book. But by
Really?
based off a book, the main character is the author of the book. So it turns out that the author of the book the movie's based off of isn't real.
Mhm.
And the
That's
person who wrote the screenplay also wrote the book and like used the main character's name as the author of the book. So the book coming out was actually just an elaborate marketing scheme for the bad movie.
fascinating. Oh, hey, Weapon Prime, thanks so much.
So like this
I'm
story
still.
of this guy getting exacerbated for a half hour, I feel like is probably more entertaining than the actual movie
Yeah.
itself.
Sure. Yeah, that's how I feel about a lot of movies. I'm like, I'd rather watch a review than watch the actual movie, but eh.
Also, Joe, I learned right before we started the stream that Wicked the musical is going to be turned into 2 movies,
Wicked, but wickeder.
and I hate
Wickedest.
it. I hate that it's 2 movies and not 1 movie.
Yeah, you got a real like that is just like one of your big Hollywood pointers, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
yeah. Every once in a while, I catch your Twitter about it, and
Yeah, but then
I
you
don't
get
know
to
what to
sell
tell.
twice as many tickets.
Yeah,
It's entirely just a cash grab. It's like, what if we sold this movie twice? Suckers will
I
come
mean,
and watch it 2 times.
to an extent, there are some movies that I kind of get behind that, to be honest, because I don't want to be in a fucking movie theater for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't care how you sell it to me.
Hey,
I am not paying one ticket to watch all of Lord of the Rings. I
Oh,
am,
hey,
yeah.
Joe, you know what you just described? A 6-hour long plot? You know what that is? A mini series?
yeah,
Yeah. And you know what's good about miniseries is you don't have to watch it all at once. You could get up, go for a walk, eat some
right.
food.
But this is more from the perspective of like if you're watching it at a movie theater.
Do you know how many times I have to pee in a 6 hour period on a normal day? Ain't no
Exactly.
way. Ain't no way I could do all of Lord of the Rings movies in a movie theater.
Right. That's my point. Like I mean, like that's
But
kind of why like
Joe is defending the 2 movies rather than 1. And
yeah, like
my
there are instances.
thing is whatever happened to brevity? Uh
Whatever happened to what?
Brevity. Brevity is the soul of wit, and apparently Hollywood doesn't care.
Right. I mean, again, like that's also kind of what look. I know there's a lot of movies out there that Kristen will tell you that like there's a lot of movies out there that I'm like this didn't need to be 2.5 hours. This could have been a way shorter movie.
Mm-hmm,
Like
mm-hmm.
there's a lot of movies that I feel that way about. There's also that I do think that about it. For instance, I mean, like I think Back to the Future 2 and 3 are fun. They're not great, but they're fun. It's a fun trilogy.
Well, so here's my thing is in Back to the Future 2 and 3, there is an arc and a conclusion in each movie.
Mm-hmm. Which is what you need.
My problem with these part 1, part 2 movies is It's all build up and no conclusion.
Yeah.
Right,
And
that's also kind of why I throw like the example of like for something like for instance the Two Towers. The Two Towers is just a lot of middle. There's a battle at the end, but it is very much to be continued. Also,
well,
Back to
you
the
at
Future.
least get the like arc of Aragon like
Yeah, yeah.
connecting with the Rowan
Oh
and
god.
like them restoring faith in humanity that way.
Yeah.
Like
Speaking
Oh
of
yeah,
Lord of the
so
Rings, I
so
a
there is
couple
arc and
Christmases ago.
development going on there.
hmm
Like that's what I mean is like in the Dune movie, no one grows, nothing
right,
is concluded.
100%.
100%. Oh yeah, I would never defend the Dune being turned into movies. Like that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is
And
that like that
then
there are stories
and then
where
Across the Spider-Verse basically ends with we promise cool things will happen later. Um
I don't know. I think that Gwen kind of got her arc on Across the Spider-Verse there. Okay, that was an arc.
I think
It's more
that's why it throws people is because they were expecting it to be a Miles movie, but it was actually the arc of Gwen, and
right, yeah,
Gwen
and
isn't
and
quite.
that's a legit criticism of just like yeah, like that's is that a
Yeah.
good thing? I don't know,
Well, and
but
Gwen's
it
story
is.
doesn't really end. She gets to a character moment, and then she doesn't get to complete the story because it goes back to Miles
yeah,
because it has to
so
set up
so
the next
that's what I
movie.
mean is there people aren't completing like there's she doesn't complete an arc. She gets to we'll talk about this later.
Yeah, she gets to like a big character moment, and then we have to jump over to Miles so we can set up the next movie.
Disagree with that one a little bit. I think that there's like a little bit more of an arc to Gwen's story in Across the Spider Verse of like having the confrontation with her dad and having the
Mm-hmm.
realization that the organization that she was siding with was a disappointment. Yes, it does set up things for like later, but like I mean, it's a solid conclusion. Like it's a solid come to realization that those who you were expecting to be supportive are actually a disappointment. Um, it's it's not a very optimistic one, but I do think that the movie kind of closes it by like her taking reins and saying like, well, I'm stepping out of like if the system is something that is already against me, like in the world that I come from, it's already against me. And the world that was giving or and the groups that was already giving me shelter is also against me, then I have to go on my own with a smaller group of people. And that is like, I don't know, I kind of saw it as like that's a pretty solid arc for one character. But again, I do understand why it seemed misleading of like I came here to see Miles' story, which is inconclusive. Um, and instead I got a Gwen story, which I'm not even sure if I signed up for it, but here we are.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but also
I
like
also think
I told.
foreknowledge going into it helps because like I knew it was a two-parter going in, and I
Mm,
was sort of like ready for the like okay, it's not going to be satisfying. We're gonna leave it a cliffhanger. It's only going to make me want to watch more.
right. But yeah, but I mean, like,
But
why
there
is
was
it? But
a
that's in
kid
the
in the theater who like audibly gasped at the end and was like, "No!" And then we all like the whole theater
yeah,
kind of chuckled. It was cute.
yeah, especially since it's already a long movie. Like,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think that's more my thing. Of like, there are definitely things in Across the Spider Verse that could have been made shorter. Like, there's a lot of chases in there, and I was like, this didn't need to go on for 7 minutes. This could have been a 4 minute thing,
On the other hand,
and
you
you.
could pump frames that beautiful directly into my brain for almost as long as you want.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. But also like, I mean, if we're arguing making the movie shorter versus making a solid arc,
Yeah.
like those are two different things. And this is kind of why, like, yeah, I mean, like on the one side, like there are stories out there or like movies specifically that they're like, I get why you cut it into two. Not
Mm-hmm.
not the biggest fan of it, but also like, yeah, I don't want to sit through 6 hours or 9 hours of Lord of the Rings in one sitting just because I want
Hell
that one
no.
movie ticket. Um, and there's like a bunch of ones like that. I don't think that there's a set rule. I think it's a bit of a hit or miss because I can think of very terrible examples of like this didn't need to be two movies. This could have
Oh
been just
god,
one.
yes. Oh my god, yes.
Like, and
Uh,
there's a lot of those for sure. Whereas like this did not need to be two movies. They are really literally just after my money. The Hobbit could have been just one movie.
so
Uh,
here's the thing I was gonna say earlier. A couple Christmases ago, my partner and I watched the Hobbit movies fan edits. Where
Oh,
basically a bunch of
oh,
people on the who were like big Lord of the Rings fans were like, right, we're gonna try and edit the mess that was the Hobbit movies into something more resembling the books. And so they
oh,
cut out extraneous additions and just condensed it all. And so the
that's
first Hobbit movie, fantastic. It actually read a lot like the books.
yeah,
But then you start getting into the second and then the third Hobbit movie, and they have to progressively cut more and more
right, yeah,
to make it not just be like unwatchable mess. And so by the time we got to
yeah.
the third movie, we were just like fast forwarding through it because we're like, there's so little here. Like the whole where is everybody? What's anyone doing? There's a fight scene on the top of like a glacier or something. Most of it's cut out. None of it's in the book. It's just a mess.
Right. And yeah, I mean, like, I mean, you could. I'm pretty sure that like that kept us. If you wanted to turn the Hobbit movie and like it's the books, like what is that? An hour 45?
Basically, yeah. And then there was a version that was that one, which we haven't watched yet, but we do want to watch the like condensed, just the book version.
Yeah, and that seems fine, but also like again, there's a lot of documentation that's into what
Yeah,
yeah, were made longer and blah blah blah. But like, so
exactly.
yeah,
Also,
I
when we
don't
were
know. Like, I
watching
mean,
movies that long, because it was 3 movies and they were still like an hour plus each, we were like, so we're gonna make a day out of this, and we're gonna have snacks and bathroom breaks and like stretch breaks.
yeah,
Highly recommend it.
yeah, and then
Um,
for instance, but yeah, but then there's other
Mm-hmm.
movies where it's just like, yeah, this didn't need to be 3 movies. This didn't need to be
No.
3 movies. This could have been, this could have been shorter. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, it's I don't know. Like my biggest example is just more of like this is the one that I have with the conversation that I have with a lot of film people. And I know that Kel is not a big, is not a, not even a big, is not a Tarantino person at all.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's fine. But it's just like the Kill Bill movie, 1 or 2 movies, and it really depends on how you slice it because it originally was supposed to be 1 movie, but it got
Yes.
turned into 2. Um, but he counts it as 1. But I think it makes more sense as 2 movies, and I actually
Mm-hmm.
really appreciate that it's 2 movies because they are so tonally distinct in their own way. But like, obviously, it's the same story. Blah blah blah. But for that, I'm just like, I prefer that it was kind of cut in half, so that way you make 2 movies out of it, and it's just like, and it's these two very opposite parts that just leads into one single big story, and it doesn't bother me that way. Um, on the other hand, what you're
It's
saying about
interesting
the
because one
Wiccan,
of them is darker than the other. Like I've watched the first part of the Kill Bill a couple of times for some of the big iconic fight scenes, and I barely remember the second part.
mm, yeah, and I mean, like, and it was written that way. I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
even from the director himself, like the first half is the world building and setting up all the questions. That part 2 is all the answers.
Mm.
Um, and like the first half is more for like it's more an homage to westerns and the kung fu movies of the 70s, while the second half is more of an homage to kung fu movies from Hong Kong, uh,
Yeah.
of that time period. So it's more of like tracing back where the inspiration was coming from. Um, yeah, so like I don't know. For that, I kind of applaud it in that sense, and like for in that sense, like to me, it makes sense that it's split into 2. And they came out 1 year apart from each other. Blah
Mm-hmm.
blah blah. Also, like the first half, it leaves in like such a really cool cliffhanger where it's just like, does she know that her daughter is still alive? That kind of goes like, oh, holy shit. Where if that was just one whole movie, that's just a twist that like, well, the story continues, as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to giving the audience something to hang on to and a reason to want to come back. Because the whole first half, you're like, oh, she's seeking revenge for the murder of her daughter, only to find out that like, oh no, now there's actually hope for
Mm-hmm.
you to rescue your daughter. So I don't know. I like it. It's nice. It's a nice split.
I will always have really good feelings about Kill Bill, not because of the movie itself, but
Yeah.
because there was a particular period of time when I was just like a young animation student, and a couple of my friends and I, watched like all of the Jet Li movies, and then all of the Bruce
Mm,
Lee movies, and then we were working our way through a bunch of Jackie Chan movies. And it was in that
mm.
period of time when I think the second Kill Bill came out, so we did like the first Kill Bill and then the second Kill Bill, like back to back. We like watched it and then went straight to the theater and watched the second part. And we were
Mm-hmm,
just
hmm.
like that era of like being young and nerding out about movies and specifically like Hong Kong flicks. It was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
fun. It's a good
No, for
good
sure.
memories.
Not not to mention, I mean, like it's got that animation bit, which is fucking
Yeah.
rad.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Also, like, I mean, look, that dude can make a playlist. Like, like
Mm-hmm.
it's a like the entire music throughout the entire, throughout both movies. It's just like, man, that's just a solid. Anyways, I don't know if I would. I've sat through 4-hour movies in the theater. It's not fun. Like, it's so I don't know. I'm glad that it like some of it gets cut, but also I don't know. Does Wicked need to be turned into 2 movies?
It
No, I
doesn't.
don't think so.
It
It doesn't.
absolutely doesn't
It,
need to
it
be 2
doesn't.
movies.
No, it works
No.
great as a
I
screen
was
as
talking
a play.
before we went on stream, and I said, unless they added a shit ton of Elphaba and Glenda making out, I don't think it needs to be 2 movies.
Right.
The
And
super
I would
cut.
100% agree. I 100% agree with
Um, because yeah, it does not need that much.
you. The book ain't that long. The musical ain't that long.
Mm-mm.
Musical
It's
is like 2.5 hours.
something like that, yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah, you
that's a movie.
can
You could just
just
make that into a movie.
yeah,
That's
that's a
fine.
movie now.
That's a
That's
You can
movie.
fine.
just do that as a movie.
But then you can't sell the tickets twice.
Yeah,
You gotta squeeze the audience for money. That's the whole point of making movies,
this
not
is kind
art.
of related. This is kind of related, but also just me venting. So one of the movies that I finally sat down to see, I was not even that interested in seeing it, and I was right. I did not like this movie, but whatever. There's this movie by Sergio Leone called Once Upon
Mm-hmm,
a
mm-hmm.
blah blah blah. It is like 3 hours and 49 minutes,
I
and
have
the only
watched it
reason.
2 or 3 times.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I would like to hear your thoughts on it. For like my biggest note about this
Mm-hmm,
movie is the audacity that at
mm-hmm.
again, 3 hours, 49 minutes.
Yep.
All right. The audacity that at the 2 hours and 40-minute mark is when you hit intermission.
Yes.
That it was just like that.
Absolutely.
Like that is just that's just offensive. Like what that. Um. Anyway, what did you think of that movie? I mean, and Kelly, you haven't seen it, right?
No, I have not.
Okay. Yeah, Alina, what did you think of it? If I'm-
It was fascinating to see Robert Rodriguez really go like he was obviously drawing on like some older westerns and that kind of style of thing, but then like in this over the top Hollywood uh uh action flick way. Like it was just very, very big and dramatic in everything.
Wait, are we talking about the same movie?
Am I? Hold on. Which one am I thinking here?
I'm talking about. I was talking about Once Upon a Time in America, which is a 1984 movie
Oh, sorry.
by.
I thought you said Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Oh no, that movie is fun.
Yeah,
That movie is
that's a very different movie.
yeah, very different movie. No, Once Upon a Time in Mexico is a terrible movie,
Oh
but
no,
it's
but
super
it's over
fun.
the
It's
top
a
action.
it's over the top action.
Per-
Yes, I mean, yes, no, no, no. Like Once Upon a Time in Mexico is fantastically horrible.
Have I seen Once Upon a
Um,
Time in America? I have not.
it's yeah, no, it's a Sergio Leone movie. Who's the guy who did Once Upon a Time in the West and the
Yes.
Dollars trilogies? Like he's like the spaghetti western guy.
Mm-hmm. I've also seen
And
Once
Once
Upon a
Upon
Time in the West.
yeah, yeah, and Once Upon a Time in the West is amazing.
Yes.
I do love it. I do love it. Once Upon a Time in America is this. It's basically the, for lack of a better word, it is the opus or the epic story of a Jewish gangster, all the way from his childhood in the late 1800s, all the way to his ascent to power through Prohibition in the 1920s, and after, I mean, this is how the movie starts, so this doesn't matter. After he turns his buddies in, like he rats his buddies out, and he goes into hiding for 35 years. In 35 years, he comes back to his old burrow, and then it goes from there. But yeah, no, it's
Fascinating.
so yeah, it's a very mobster, you know, in the capital M sense of the word. Um, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. I didn't like it, but you know, mobsters. Anyway, yeah, no. Once upon a time in Mexico, that's a joint.
That's a wild ride.
That is a wild ride. That is a anyways. Um, Anywho, Cal, I am sorry that they're turning Wicked into two movies. That sounds like bullshit. Um,
It's
that's
nonsense.
it's nonsense. That's for lack of a better term, the technical term is that's a rip. So that's that's that. That's flat out that.
Because I was reading up on it and it's like, oh, Jeff Goldblum's the wizard, Michelle Yeoh is the magic teacher. This might be a lot of fun. And then I saw his two movies and I was like, this is gonna be bloated nonsense.
Right.
Speaking of Michelle Yeoh, one of the other things I watched when I was sick was got her because I was like, oh, I have Disney Plus because I'm sick. I might as well watch a bunch of other stuff. So I watched American Born Chinese.
Oh, how'd you like it?
I thought it was really, really good. I thought it was very fun. I really liked the bit at the end where they actually show some of his like original sketches of the characters. I was like, good,
Yeah.
thank you for that little nod to it. It was a comic. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I haven't finished it. I started watching it, but I haven't finished it yet. But I was
Michelle
enjoying it.
Yeoh is also great in Star Trek Discovery.
Nice.
Cool.
I mean, from an acting standpoint.
Well, in other news, in case anyone is curious, I did it. I finished inking this goddamn book. The inks are done. Yeah, that is that is done with it. Now and I already scanned it, so now either tomorrow or later tonight I start. Well, I have to do all the panel borders because I do panel borders digital.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Because that was something that was like really screwing me up. To like, no matter how, how straight I try to make my panel borders by hand, every time I scanned them, it was like, no, it's kind of off, and it's kind of throwing me off. So now I just like, fuck it, I'll just do them. I'll just do them digitally. They take about they take around the same amount of time. But yeah, now I just have to do the panel borders, and then I have to start coloring. So,
congrats,
hooray.
That's big.
Yeah. If I stick to schedule, I think I made that. I think it's worth bragging that like in 3 years I did pencil 651 pages.
Oh, that's so many.
Most of inked all of those, and again colored almost most of them because I didn't color one of the books. Somebody else colored that. But yeah, so I don't know. I think
is
that's
a lot of pages.
That was something nice to put. Like that kind of almost equates to almost half a page a day. Someday I'll be able to do one page a day of the whole year, but that day is not today.
I can pencil a page a day, but actually putting it together and doing all the other stuff, like that's another day.
Well, because I mean, it also just kind of goes into like, well, I mean, someone has to it has to be thumbnail.
Yes. Well, and some days you just can't get any work done. You're like, hey, today's a day where I got to run a bunch of errands because life still needs to happen while you're drawing comics. And you're like, well, I didn't get any pages done today, so whew.
Yeah.
All right, tomorrow's gonna be a day.
Word.
But that's an impressive average.
Alina, I want to tell all of your viewers.
Yeah, what's
I'm
up?
running a Kickstarter right now.
Yes.
called
That's
Murky
right.
Water, and if they're interested in gay werewolves in the future,
I
they
mean, I
should.
think that my fans would be. Y'all.
Yes, that's why I was like they should go grab a book.
You should go check it out.
Alina,
What is the link? Let me grab it and I'll
I
drop it for
posted
the
the link
chat.
in the Discord so you
Sweet.
can share it with your stream.
Let me do it.
Mhm.
Go check out Kel's stuff. They rock.
Yeah, I remember Murky Waters. That's a good read.
Been doing the tour of appearing on different podcasts.
Oh, cool.
And talking about it and whatnot. So been making the rounds.
Cool, cool.
I'm gonna be on Warrock and Ajax on Thursday.
Nice.
I'll probably ask them what type of Pokemon gym they would run.
Good.
Alina,
What?
what
Joe.
type of Pokemon gym would you run? Joe doesn't know anything about Pokemon.
Oh no.
So
Oh wait.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a straight up listener over here. Like, I need to know why are there different types of gyms?
We need
Please.
to
So,
assign you a gym. We need to come up with something for you.
okay, so Joe, in Pokemon, you get badges from gym leaders. You fight them, and if you defeat them, you get a badge. The gym always has to have only a single type of Pokemon. So, like, Brock is the first gym in the first game, and he only has rock Pokemon.
And his name is
Misty,
Barack.
and then Misty is the second gym, and she only has water Pokemon.
Yeah.
So,
And it's all
what
themed,
type
so
of-
like her gym is full of
Yeah.
water. His is full of rocks.
Yeah.
The fire one's full of
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah, so Alina, I assume you would want a flying gym.
I mean, obviously, I'm all flying type all the time. We're really easy to beat, but I don't care. I just want to be
Do you
surrounded
know
by birds.
what your ace would be?
My ace would probably be a Articuno.
You can't have legendaries.
I can't have
Gym leaders don't
legendary.
get
Sorry, not
legendaries.
Articuno. What's the Altaria? The blue cloud
Altaria.
bird dragon.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like that one.
And because it's dragon, it
doesn't have as
He-
many weaknesses. It has different
Yeah.
weaknesses. I would be very easy to beat, but I don't care.
not that easy to beat. You could be a bug gym trainer. They're the worst.
That's true.
I would be a dark gym trainer, and my
Oh,
ace
yeah.
would be an Umbreon. The other day I was talking to Kevin Wilson of Bones Leopard, and we were all making our gym teams.
Good.
I'm gonna pull up my gym team. So I'd have an Umbreon as my ace.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd have a Houndoom. And then I would have a Grimmsnarl.
Good.
And then
You gotta
I
go for the
have-
dark dogs, because werewolves, right?
Well, I was actually thinking more team composition. Grimmsnarl is more like a little goblin guy, and I picked him because he's Dark Fairy, and Dark is weak against fighting, but Fairy is strong against fighting.
Yeah.
And then King Gambit is Dark Steel, and Dark is also weak against Fairy, so that this is to counter anyone popping over with Fairy pokes. Then I would want a Meowscarade, and because I love that weed cat.
I love the weed cat. It's so cute.
And then I would have a Tyranitar.
Oh, I love Tyranitars. I usually have one on my team because they're really good at defense.
And then Bones said that they want a Gengar,
Nice.
Halo Sand, a Chandelure, a Bramblegast, an Ash Slash, and a Fluttermane.
Ooh, that's a heck of a team.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, because I was trying to think of not just my faves, but also good team comp. Good coverage. You should have an Aerodactyl in your gym.
Yes.
Because people will be like, I'll roll up with electric Pokemon.
It'd be like Aerodactyl, baby.
Aerodactyl, yeah.
What you gonna do about that?
Yep. Um,
I'll
but
just add a bunch of words I've never heard of. So that's cool.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so many words.
Joe, since your favorite is Snorlax, I assume you would be a normal gym. And have
Just a
all
regular.
normal Pokemon.
Just regular.
I mean, nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I
Snorlax
guess
is good.
Snorlax is
yeah,
very
it's just
good.
everyone could just come in and take a nap. You know, it's like you can run outside and then come into the gym to actually like rest. You can sleep
Yes.
on a. You can sleep on a.
You know, that would actually be really funny, a gym where it's all sleeping Pokemon.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
So that would be a
Yeah.
Snorlax, a Slack King.
Wait, there's more than one
Slowbro.
sleeping Pokemon.
There's
Yeah.
several sleeping Pokemon.
Get out of this
One of
country.
the like a
Let's go.
what is the dream tapir?
Well, that one's psychic, so that one fit in the normal gym.
Ah, that's true.
There is that koala that looks like it's that's sleeping on a log.
Yeah, right.
Hold on. I'm gonna pull up the pokes. We'll make a team for you, Joe.
Oh boy.
I'm surprised that no one has done a sleepy type gym because there's a lot of really stoner looking Pokemon.
I mean, I honestly thought that it would be there would have been because like there weren't that many sleeping Pokemons in the first place,
Oh
and I
no, there's
mean
a
like
million sleepy
I feel
Pokemons.
like the salaryman guy in the newest game kinda like he got pretty close.
What?
Cause he has the little koala.
Mm.
Um okay, so obviously Snorlax. I said Slack King. Need to find that little koala's name. Komala. Um and then you could have a Wooloo, because it's a little sheep. So you know, counting sheep to go to sleep. Uh
And it's normal. A normal type.
yeah.
Just a regular type. What was your go-to cartoon, Joe?
oh geez, when?
Let's say like growing up, like like 10 to 12, maybe 9,
Um,
8 or 9 to 12.
9 to 12. I mean, the classics like the Adventures. Yeah, blah, blah. Animaniacs was definitely there.
Cool.
Batman the animated series.
Oh yeah.
Dragon Ball was a really big one. Not Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, the first one. Saint Seiya, Captain Tsubasa.
Mm.
Um, like I grew up in Mexico, so we would kind of get a lot of crossover
Yeah,
stuff. So
like I was wondering, because like it's
yeah,
so regional. We got a
uh,
lot of Washington State. We got one channel that was basically like the Seattle station in Saskatchewan.
yeah.
So
So
like we would
in
weirdly get like American
uh,
stuff in Canada.
yeah. Well, and here's a trip for you. I don't think that I ever
Oh, and
heard
Detroit.
the only time that I heard the Flintstones speak English was in the Fruity Pebbles commercials,
Oh,
because
fascinating. Yeah.
Mexico had access to Mexico aired a lot of the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons, but
Yeah.
they were all translated.
Right.
So Top Cat, the
Um
Jetsons, the Flintstones, that was all in Spanish. So
I love how Top Cat's
I
almost forgotten
posted
in the US, but like everyone in the world knows Top Cat.
Oh yeah,
Internationally, Top Cat is the shit. Like that is the
yeah,
show.
yeah. I was talking to Kristen about that because like she did not know who Top Cat
Oh
was. She's like,
yeah,
what's and I was like, oh, what? Like
Top Cat.
that's
Like everybody
that's
knows
like a
Top Cat.
cultural. Yeah, like Mexico loved Top Cat. Mexico loves Top Cat so much that they made a feature-length animated movie
Oh yeah.
without any licenses, just purely fan made. Of like, no,
Right,
we're making a Top,
and it did real well, right?
and it did really well. Yeah, yeah, because yeah, everybody loves it. Kel, what did you just post?
This is what I propose as Joe's Pokemon gym team.
Okay, I need to look up what some of these are
All
because I
right,
have
I
no
gotta
idea
see.
what.
I
Again,
gotta
these are
see this
just
team
words.
list.
Slack and let's see what a Slacken is. Now, okay, so now you're all gonna hear my reaction to looking at these Pokemons
Oh,
for the
good.
very first time.
Oh, that's a really good
So,
team count. I love that you got
um,
Drampa in there. So for the chat, we have Snorlax, Slacking, Komala, Wooloo, Beware, and Drampa.
okay, Slacking looks like it's trying to seduce me, but is angry about it. Um, but I dig it. That's I wish that one of his hands was doing something else. But if
He
that's
does look like he's striking the draw me like one of your French girls.
yeah, yeah, like
Absolutely.
that's this is like the timeless art of seduction. He's almost pulling a George Costanza here.
Yes.
Um,
And he's just
so
as hairy.
it's yeah, but again, it's um, I rated a 2 out of 5 in cuteness. Let's see what I come up,
Yeah, Slacking's
but
not particularly
it is a
cute.
4 out of 5 in badassness because he does look like he's ready to. He just looks so grumpy.
He's mad because you woke him up.
Yeah. Okay, the Komala is all right. No surprises there. This is
That's one of those ones
the
where it's like, this is just a koala. You just drew a koala.
yeah. You just drew a koala. Very adorable though. I
Like,
do
that's not
like
a
the
Pokemon. That's just an actual animal.
yeah. That's it's um
I mean, Rattata is just a
It's just a
rat.
rat. And Ekans is just a
Purple.
snake backwards.
Yeah.
okay. Let's see what a Wooloo is. Anyways, 4.5 out of 5 in terms of cute.
Pidove is just a pigeon, and that's why it's one of my favorites. I definitely have a Pidove at my gym.
Okay, Wooloo is just a sheep,
Yep. But it's a sheep
but
with braids.
yeah, but it's with braids, and I really love braids.
Somebody braided that
So
sheep and now it turned into a Pokemon.
yeah, that's damn cute. All right, you're right. I want to hug it. Um, yeah, that's I know where I'd be getting my sweaters from. The next up is a Beware. Beware? Is that how
Beware.
you Beware? Okay.
Beware.
Beware Pokemon. Oh, that's really cute. I think this is like the most original one out of all of them,
Right?
other than the Snorlax. Yeah.
It's one of the ones that has like its
Teddy
own
bear.
design
Yeah, like it's
that
I
isn't
mean I'm
just an
guessing
animal.
it's modeled after like a red panda or something.
It's like a red
Yeah.
panda teddy bear.
Yeah, it's really cute. All right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Snorlax, you're about to be bumped to number 2 here. Um, tread with caution. I don't know. And last but not least, Drumpa. Let's see what a
I love Drampa.
Drumpa is.
Drampa's my favorite on your list.
Oh, okay. All right. Ooh, all right. High stakes. It's high expectations there. God damn, that's really cool.
Isn't it good? He's
All
just an
right.
old man who's
Yeah.
also a dragon. Like, that is peak
That's
design for me.
damn.
He's
Yeah,
just a grumpy old
that's a
man who is a dragon.
damn. That's really cool. I've never seen this Pokemon before.
That's a good one.
It's really yeah, it's a really good one. Damn. That's cool. All right. Snarlax, you've been bumped down. You might not be my
I don't
favorite
know.
Pokemon
Snorlax is
anymore.
pretty great.
Oh yeah, well yeah. It's just like
Look up
it's
Munchlax, Joe. That's what baby Snorlax is.
Yeah, they decided it had a
Munchlax.
baby form because it was so cute.
Mu-
We must make it cuter.
Okay, it is really cute. I do appreciate that it has what is it like nails on its toes?
Yeah.
Um,
This is like
and
This is Snorlax before he gets really big and sleepy. He's just running around and eating all the things.
yeah,
He's snacky boy.
um, yeah, I do like the. Oh, so this is interesting to me because it looks like Munchlax is like a very active baby,
Yeah,
and then only as it gets older, it just gets sleepier.
basically.
It's the
And
same thing with slacking. His
He's just a regular old
Vigoroth is
guy.
like the teen form of slacking. He gets like more lazy as he
what's the
grows
baby
up.
version of slacking?
So there's three forms to slacking. I forget what the youngest form is, but the teen form is called Vigoroth.
And he's just like a little punk ass teen who will fight you.
Okay, I found one. Yeah, is he like all white with like a bit of a rooster thing on his head, on
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
face? Okay,
That's
yeah,
him.
he does. He does have like a really cool attitude. And then the younger version of
That's
that
a
just
rude
like
teen who will fight you.
yeah, that's someone who is very excited to be cutting class.
Yes.
And then the other one is just a sloth.
Yeah,
That's
he's
just
just a
a
Yep.
sloth.
sloth.
That's just a
It's
sloth.
just it's just a sloth with a pig nose.
What if a sloth evolved into a dude?
I mean,
That's that whole
I went to
Pokemon's.
I went to college with a lot of those. That's
Um
thank you for laughing at my joke. Um,
It's good.
um, yeah, Bigoroth and Slackoth. Yeah, Slackoth.
slacking.
No, well, Slacken is the older one. Slackoth is the baby one,
Oh, okay.
or at least that's what I'm reading here. It says Pokemon
Yeah.
of the Week, Slacking, and then this is what I'm reading. But the internet lies to me all the time. So,
Um
oh yeah, I also saw Philosophy Tube's newest video. That was
Oh,
really cool. Anyways, back to
yeah.
Pokemon.
what's it about?
So hang on, hang on. I just gotta
Ah,
ask. So when it comes into making a gym, like,
Yes.
what does the gym entail? Because I'm thinking of human gyms when I think of it. What is a Pokemon
So
gym?
what it is it's you challenge the gym leader and you get a badge, and that's how you progress through the game. So in all the Pokemon games, there are 8 gym leaders. You get a badge for defeating them, and then you go and fight the Elite 4. And then the Elite 4, you after you defeat them, you're the champion. So like that's the goal of the game.
So it's more like a
Um,
wrestling gym rather than like a
yeah,
working out gym.
yeah,
Okay.
basically.
right.
Okay.
So I just posted my gym if you want to look up my guys.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay. This gym, Umbreon. Let's.
That's a cute one. I
And
love Umbreon.
also, like, I just want to let you know that thank you. From now on, my Google search is just gonna be like this weirdo.
Well,
Like,
suddenly not into Pokemon.
yeah. You're like, wow,
There are
they were
worse things to be in your search history
Oh
than
god, yeah.
Pokemon.
Yep. As a writer, can contest.
truth. Okay. So this looks like a very mystical creature.
Hmm.
Kind of reminds me of Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, but all right.
Yeah,
Okay, so
kinda.
that's really
It's got that color scheme.
yeah. Okay. Now we're going for a Houndoom. Let's
That's a good
see what
one.
a
A spooky
Houndoom.
boy.
Damn. Okay, that's pretty. It's a Doberman with horns, with like ram
It's like a
horns.
devil
Because he's
Doberman.
like a hellhound thing.
Yeah. No, I dig it. Okay. Um. Okay, so apparently there's different levels because one of them has like a lot of horns,
Yeah,
and
so
the
they can do this thing called Mega Evolution. That was only in one game.
mm,
But usually he just has the one set of horns.
okay. The one that are like ram horns.
Yeah,
Okay. Now we're gonna look up a Grimmsnarl.
yes.
Okay, let's see. Grimmsnarl. All right. So this is like the Pokemon version of Piccolo Daimaku. Um, that's cool. I mean, yeah, that's I would have loved to have drawn this in middle school. This is really
hmm
great. Yeah, I dig this. What's going on with their face? Those are teeth, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing about
Um,
Pokemon.
He's like
There's
a
something in
goblin
them
guy.
that really gets into the 10 to 12-year-old brain and is like, this is the coolest shit ever. I'm gonna draw this.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's okay.
Same thing with Sonic. Sonic's design is just like hacks preteen brains in a way that nothing else does. They're just like,
The
I'm obsessed
next
with this.
one, Joe, you might have to specify Pokemon.
Okay, yeah, because this is a King Gambit.
Yes.
So this King Gambit, I mean, it's looks like a samurai of sorts.
Yeah, he's a samurai bug.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's a bug. Okay.
It's a bug.
Is it tiny or something?
No, he's pretty big.
Okay. But it's okay. So it's just a big bug.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Hang on. Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, yeah, it looks like a really cool version of a samurai, and it's got like a rock
Mm-hmm.
behind him.
Because I think
Okay.
he's supposed to be like a Hercules beetle samurai.
Ah. Okay. So the next one is a
It's
Meowscarada.
Masquerade. I might have spelt that wrong.
Well, let's see what Google tells me.
He's a kitty cat musician.
Meowscarada. Okay, this is wow.
That's a design, ain't it?
Yeah, that's a design.
They
Okay,
went
so like
fucking hard on that one.
this is fascinating to me because like so my up until half an hour ago, if less, my concept of Pokemon is that they're all predominantly animalistic.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting very much into like humanoid,
Yeah,
like oh
it's
yeah,
getting
this is
very Digimon. That's just a
yeah,
dude. That's just a
like
guy.
this is a total bipedal. Like this one can hang out with Mickey Mouse and
That's a
Donald Duck.
man.
Yeah, like this one is. It looks like it looks like a cast from the Sonic.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Oh
I
god,
don't
yeah,
mean that in a bad way.
you could drop that into the Sonic comics and you'd just be like, yeah, of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, this guy
yeah.
belongs there.
That's how I would read it. I do love that she or whatever or they have like some kind of heart-shaped paw.
Yep.
That seems intentional. Uh, they want to know what love is. Okay. And last but not least, Tyranitar.
Yep.
Or Tyranitar? How do you spell? How do you pronounce that?
Tyranitar.
Tyran. Oh wow, way off. Yeah, that sounds like a Power Rangers thing. Tyranitar.
It
Mm-hmm.
does.
Okay, so this is the cutest Godzilla. This is
Mm-hmm.
this is cuter than Gotsuki.
I love a
Um,
Tyranitar.
yeah, this is pretty cool. It looks like it just looks like a baby Godzilla. It's like you just kind of want to pick him up and go, "Who's a good boy? Who's a good
Oh, he
boy?"
huge. He huge. He
Well,
can eat you up.
you don't know how big I am. So, yeah, I'm
I've
guessing.
met you. I know how big you are.
Well, I'm also not a cartoon. Um, technically speaking. Yeah, no, it's a. Oh, apparently there's a Larvitar.
Mm-hmm.
Larvitar is the baby
It's the
version.
baby
That's
version.
So
cute.
that's the middle form, and then there's an even tinier form.
Ooh, what's the tinier?
Hold on. I'm looking at my Pokedex. Oh, Lavatar is the tiniest one. Then there's Pupitar is the middle one.
Is pup? Okay, okay. I think the middle one looks really weird.
It's like a cocoon.
Yeah, I wonder how
Yeah.
many
Okay.
kids learned about insect life cycles by Pokemon.
I mean,
Because, like, the early bug ones where it's like, right, so there's a little wormy one, and then there's a cocoon kind of one, and then there's either a wasp or a butterfly.
look,
That's how bugs do.
it is my understanding that Pokemon has been existing for a very long time, and in that time span, the sciences of biology and insectology have only gotten better. So clearly, they're doing something right. So,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
uh,
And they know about
and it's
fossils.
Yeah, and they know about fossils, so like
Okay. So,
clearly Pokemon is
Joe,
doing the right thing.
because you didn't know that Pokemon can be humanoid,
Mm.
I'm gonna throw some Pokemon at
Are you
you.
dropping some Mr. Mime?
No, I'm going to expose Joe to the sexy Pokemon.
Oh
Oh,
my.
I'm so ready.
Where's that lizard?
The wiggly lizard.
I forget the lizard's name. Do you remember the lizard's name?
See,
Salamandra? Something? Salamance?
lizard Pokemon.
No,
Let's see what do we got.
Salamence is a dragon.
Oh,
There's
right.
a Cyclozar.
No, that's
But that
not the
one's not.
sexy lizard.
Yeah, that's not very sexy. Let's see
Okay,
what
so you know
else.
that Aerodactyl is the fossil Pokemon in the early games. Did you
I
know that it is now an actual dinosaur? Someone named a
A
pterodactyl
real dinosaur
a real
after
dino. I forget the name,
Pokemon.
but it's like Aerodactylus something.
Okay, well, I made
So
the
the
mistake of
Aerodactyl is
typing.
real.
I made the mistake of typing "sexy Pokemon" into my search list for images, and like
Okay.
I'm getting no Pokemon at all. It's just a bunch of
Okay, so
anime
a
ladies.
lot of people want to fuck Gardevoir, which is Gardevoir.
Gardevoir,
It's just a
Yeah.
Gardevoir.
plant that kind of looks like a lady, and
Yeah, it
therefore
looks like a lady.
they
Yeah,
kind of
that's
want to fuck it.
I
Okay.
mean,
And
I do love that hairdo. That's a
the
pretty
other
cool.
one that people want to fuck is Lopunny, which is
Oh yeah, I was gonna say,
L
what's that sexy
O
bunny one?
P U N N Y. This is the sexy bunny.
Lopunny. Are you
Um,
sure?
a lot of
yeah.
people want to fuck that bunny.
Really? That one?
It's just a
Yep.
rabbit. It's weird. I guess it
Really?
kind of has boobs.
Does it?
It's
Where?
because it's fur. Like the default pose, it's covering its fur, its chest fur, but
But like, I mean, like, I don't know, like the one that you said earlier. What was it? Like that looks like a plant.
Gardevoir.
Yeah, Guardibar had. I don't know. Maybe I'm. Yeah, I thought Guardibar had a bit more of a sex appeal than this one. This one is just a.
It's just
I'm
a.
sorry.
Maybe that's
I
just
don't
for the
want to sound.
furries.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
want to
just.
sound mean. I don't want to sound
Now
disrespectful. Like,
I'm just giving you the whole gambit
it
of
just looks like a Lola Bunny knockoff, and not even a
Yeah,
yeah.
good one.
you're not wrong.
A lot of people do also want to fuck Lola Bunny, Joe.
Oh
That's. But
yes.
here's the thing: Lola Bunny makes sense to me because it is like super humanoid. Like it is very much of like
Right.
everything that teenagers obsess over, blah blah blah, whatever. This one doesn't even really have that.
It's just
Yeah.
a.
Okay. I got another one.
Okay,
I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's T
hey,
S
hang on.
A
Uh-huh.
R
Oh,
EENA.
well, yeah. Google knew exactly what I was
Oh
typing as soon
yes.
as as soon as I put TSA, it was like, you mean this one? Um. Okay. So I'm gonna ask a bit of a rude question. So
What the
when you
fuck?
say that people want to fuck this, um, is there a particular age group that tends to favor
It's
this?
just if you Google Pokemon porn, these are the Pokemon that pop up.
Hmm. Yeah,
don't
I mean, I
don't Google
see,
that
I
unless
see
you
it.
want to.
I mean, well, no, that's okay. I mean, I
There's a
guess,
lot down that path.
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
look, I'm a busy person.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
so this one isn't sexy, it's just humanoid. Incineroar,
yeah, I got it.
INCINER.
I got
Okay.
it. I got it. Yeah.
And
he
his thing
a
is
big
that he's
strong boy.
supposed to be like a wrestling heel.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, see
Yeah.
that this one makes sense to me because, like, yeah, like it's very humanoid. It is very much like barrel chested, broad shoulders, the big hands. Yeah, sure, I get it. The other ones were a bit of a stretch, but I guess I kind of see, especially that first one, the one that with like the green hairs. Like, yeah, I
Hmm.
get it. And then that second one,
It's
I
like, that's
can't
just
remember
a
the name.
rabbit. That's just a rabbit.
Yeah, yeah. The second one is just a rabbit. Serena made sense because, like,
Salazzle.
oh yeah,
Is it Salazzle?
yeah, big butts. You know,
Is
it's
the lizard
Okay.
the wiggly lizard?
No, I didn't know how to spell or couldn't find the name of the lizard.
I think it's Salazzle.
a lasso. Okay, let me see if I can type that. S so wow. So okay, yeah, okay, yeah. So lasso Pokemon card, double Z, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm not getting. Okay, I got the card, but I didn't get. Um, okay, yeah.
And for that one, it's because like the lizard, the idle animation for it does this like weird little like wiggle dance that people find really attractive. They're like, oh, it's like a little pole dance. And I'm like, I mean, it's like a
Also,
weird wiggly lizard, sure.
just because we're on the internet, I do want to stretch. This is your thing. That's totally
Yeah,
fine.
totally.
I'm not trying to shame you. I just don't get it. But all right.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. With this Salazzle, yeah, it's like I guess it's the eyes that is like it's like the sexy eyes thing.
Yeah.
And
So
then yeah, I mean, once you give anyone like this Coca-Cola shape bottle shape to the body, it's like yeah, I guess that's
That's gonna
like
read as
I
sexy no matter what you do.
so
right.
this one is just a fun humanoid design. Because it's like a parade dancer, like Mardi Gras parade dancer.
Okay, spell
Um
it. What do we got?
Quuaquvaval.
Q-U-A Q?
Yep.
Okay, Q.
Quuaquaval.
Oh, Quaquaval. Okay.
Yeah.
See, this one looks fun.
Yep.
It kind of reminds me of oh gosh, what's the name of that the DuckTales character that it's in the robot suit?
Oh,
Um,
Gizmo Duck?
yeah, yeah, it kind of reminds
Yeah.
me. It's got a bit of a Gizmo Duck vibe going on, but obviously, like, yeah, Mardi Gras is very much spot on, Cal. Like that's
Hmm.
uh I found it. No, okay. Google Images gave me like the cute version of this one where it's like they're like a tiny duck.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah,
So
this one looks festive.
every Pokemon game, Joe, you're given the choice of your starters, and there's always a grass starter, a fire starter, and a water starter. The duck is the water starter of the newest game.
Gotcha.
The magician cat
Yeah, your choices
is
in
the
that one
grass
are
starter of the newer
a
games.
weed cat, a sassy duck, and a chili pepper that is alive, and a lizard.
Yeah.
It's good.
Look
I
up
like.
the fire starter is Fuecoco.
But Coco?
Like
Yep,
like
he turns into
Fuego,
like
but with cocoa as well.
Oh, that's really
Isn't
cute.
it good? I love that guy.
It's
He's
and
so
just
then
very
cute.
look at
round.
his final form. They were kind
Yeah,
of trying to
yes.
do a Day of the Dead like
Yeah, it's kind of like an
thing and
alligator thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
The I like the middle version because it kind of looks like it's wearing a sombrero.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's but also this is not I don't know if this now it just sounds like I'm trashing it, but like the cute version, like the starter version, kind of reminds me of you remember those toy cars that a lot of us had that is like a red car with yellow,
Mm-hmm.
um, like it kind of has that shape.
Mhm.
It's like it's what was it? I think it was like a what was the name of that? It's escaping me. Toy car from the 80s. No, it was not a Hot Wheels. You could get on the car. Um,
It's like the
um,
it's
Oh,
not Fisher
there's
Price.
a luchador bird.
Yeah, it was like a Fisher
Fisher
Price thing.
Price?
Uh here's a luchador bird for you, Joe. Hawlucha.
See, I would have one of those guys at my gym because he'd be like, haha, you came here to fight birds. You didn't expect a
Can
fighting
you spell
type
it?
bird.
Can, can you spell it again, Cal?
Hawlucha.
Like
Okay,
Hawk Lucha.
Lucha. Yeah, that looks like a
Lucha.
that looks like a luchador.
It's good.
Um,
I like that guy.
yeah. But yeah, like the Fuecoco, the baby Fuecoco reminded me of those little those toy Fisher Price cars that is like
Yeah.
red with a
Look up
Yeah.
top.
Rowlet.
Oh, I love Rowlet. Rowlet is basically my favorite Pokemon.
Rowlet.
They're so good.
Rowlet. Oh, that's so cute.
Is that
Just like a
not
little
peak
owl.
design? It's peak
That is
design.
like,
Just a little
yeah,
round guy.
that is like, man. I mean, that looks like the kid that is totally getting bullied at school.
I love him.
That's
He's
He
very
grows
so
up to be
cute.
like a Robin Hood owl.
Yeah.
Yeah, he okay, yeah, like, wow, this is like um the metal version's pretty cool too. It kind of looks like a little kind of looks like a little soft boy, like a little anime soft boy with with
Yeah.
like the hair thing. It's so and then yeah, like the final form is really cool. So this is every dweeb's fantasy of like I was kind of dorky looking and then I got cute and then I just got hot.
Yep. And cool. And everyone wants to
And
be
cool.
me.
And everybody wants to be me and everybody wants to fly. Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is, I mean, so far this one's winning. So
Yeah, I usually like the grass starter Pokemon.
I gotta finish my Bulbasaur drawing. I've got my 2 Woodland Cree-style starters, and I have to do Bulbasaur next. And then I'll have all 3 starters, and I can do prints.
Oh, Bulbasaur.
But I also gotta do my
the
poster.
Number 1 in your hearts.
Yep.
Chugga.
Anyway, I'm glad we could expose you to all these pokes, Joe.
There's so many Pokemon.
This is a pretty good mixture.
So many Pokemon.
It's I feel like I've learned so much. I mean, I didn't even know what a gym
you know what
was.
Gengar looks like? That's Bones' favorite.
Gengar.
That's a good one.
Gengar. Okay, yeah. I've seen this one, and yeah, it makes sense that this is Bones' favorite. Yeah, I mean, like I think just tonight, I think I just switched my favorite Pokemon. So
to Beware or to Drampar?
To what?
What's your favorite one now? Is it?
I mean,
Beware
I think I'm landing on the Drampa. That
Drampa's
dragon
great.
is so. Yeah, I think that Drampa is so cool. I mean,
he's an old man. He's sleepy and he's grumpy. What more do you need?
Sounds it sounds like it's pointing at my father issues with my dad. Maybe that's why I like him. It's like, oh, it's tickling all my daddy issues.
Alina, you should show Joe what Pokemon would be in your gym.
Yeah. If you're down to share. If not, I mean, like,
hang on, I gotta kind of put a gym list together on the top of my head. So the very first would be Pidgeotto.
Okay. Pidgeot.
And then
not Pidgeot. Isn't Pidgeot the which one's the top one?
I think you're right. Pidgeot is the top. I kind of like the design on Pidgeotto better, just because it's got like it's just chunky. I like that chunky boy.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty solid.
I mean, it's
ready
just
for fighting.
a bird. It's just a bird. I love it. The second one, Pidove, which is just Pidove.
Pidove.
Yeah.
Oh, Pidove. Okay. Okay, that is just a pigeon, but that's
just
a really
pigeon.
cute pigeon.
I would hug the heck out of that pigeon. It's good. It's got a couple nice moves.
One of the first images that came, it's a Pidove, but with like bandages on its wings, like it's recovering from something. And then I also found a chart where it's like a lot of different ones, but they're all different color schemes. It's a Pidove variants by Twapa. So someone just did like different variations.
Those are like fan variants, yeah.
Yeah. But they're still pretty cool and they're very cute and Yeah, it's just okay. Okay, so pie dove. All right, what have we got?
Then get a mandibuzz, I think.
And yeah,
Mandi, like
yeah.
mandible.
Okay, that's a vulture.
Yeah, it's just a vulture with a cool hairdo.
It's
I
yeah.
hate the thing is I
It's
hate
got
the
a
first
bone.
form of that one because it's
It's
just
got a
like a
bone.
baby vulture wearing a skull like a diaper, and I don't like Pokemon wearing diapers. It's weird.
It is weird. I
I
agree
do
with
like the
that.
top form of that one though, and then
Yeah,
I think I'm
it's
what
got
at
like a
four.
bone sticking on. Yeah, I think it's been
Um,
4 so far.
Decidueye needs to be on there because that's the cool Rowlet evolution. That's the like final form of Rowlet when it's cool now and everyone loves it. He's a cool archer.
Rowlet.
So
Rowlet.
yeah, so this is like the Robin Hood form that Rowlet
Mm-hmm.
Oh
evolved
yeah.
into.
Okay.
And then you said Aerodactyl and Arterial.
Yeah, yeah.
So
How
you
do you
might have
spell
to
it?
boot one of your other birds.
I think let's boot Mandibuzz. We'll put uh uh
Aerodactyl's pretty
Aerodactyl
cool.
in there because I wanted a stone type. I'll swap stone a dark for stone. So
Aerodactyl's got a
Aerodactyl,
weird. It's got a weird jaw. Does that jaw make
yeah.
sense? How does it look like with his mouth closed? Cause
I don't know. It's just like that. And then the
yeah,
final one
cause
is
like,
Altaria, which is one of my favorite Pokemon.
how do you spell that one?
Altaria.
A-L. What?
Taria.
It's made of clouds.
It's just a bird in a cloud.
Oh.
It's a bird wearing a cloud.
Oh yeah, that's really cute.
I love it.
That's really cute.
It's just
Yeah,
a
like
really cool looking bird. It's also a
some
dragon for some reason. I love it. That's my
in
team.
some there's some fan illustrations here where like the clouds are its wings.
Mm. Yes,
That's
yeah.
really cool.
I,
That's
I
really
think
cool.
that's canon. I think that's how it is. It's
Oh,
supposed to be.
holy shit. Someone did a shiny mega Altaria, and it's
Ooh,
like the clouds are like this giant spread kind of thing. So
cool.
that's pretty
Yeah.
rad. Okay, all right. Oh,
Uh,
I found the evolutions that it goes from like a Swablu to Altaria to
Yeah, Swablu's like just a little bird cloud.
yeah, it's a little bird with clouds for wings.
Yeah, it's very
All
cute.
right, all right. That's cool.
um.
Surprising no one my team is
So the
entirely birds.
other, yeah. So the other Pokemon that I like, Joe, is Eevee and all of the evolutions. Eevee
Yeah,
is
I've seen those.
EEV.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
I've seen that.
Team Eevee.
I've seen you collect those for almost as long as the game has existed. Um, it's surprising no one. Not but like, aren't you impressed that I actually know some Pokemons though?
Yes. I'm glad that you remembered Eevee.
Yeah, and yes,
Sylveon is
Eevee,
the trans Eevee.
Yes. Yeah.
Sylveon. Okay, this one I do not know.
I
Yeah,
personally like
yeah,
Espeon. I like the weird alien Eevee.
Alien Eevee.
So it's Espeon, so it's like ESP and then EON.
Just a really good design. I like that
S
design.
Espeon's my favorite Pokemon, but I don't like that many other psychic Pokemon, which is why I
Mm-hmm.
went with the Dark Gym rather than the Psychic Gym.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Espeon looks, like it's a pretty cool design, but it is very like yeah, that's very standard Pokemon
Mm-hmm.
designs. That's I like the tail. There's got like
Yeah, the
a
split
tail
tail
that
is really
splits in.
nice.
It's pretty cool.
And just like
All
and
right.
the shiny version of it's all green, so it actually looks like an alien.
Oh.
So it's actually not green because it's an alien. I learned that it's the Two Tails is about Japanese folklore and with cats.
Oh, is that the not the
And
Bakeneko, but
it's
the
yeah,
Nekomata?
but so it's shiny one is green because it's jade.
Oh, cool.
So
So
yeah, so
so
Like a jade cat.
so I got a question.
hmm
So because if last I remember, to really show my like 25 years ago, Pokemon was very much of just like Ash Ketchum trying to catch them, and that was it. But because in the past 25 years, obviously there's
Oh,
been
shit's
a
got
lot
weird.
more Pokemon.
Shit got real weird.
But like, are we still following Ash Ketchum, or he
They
left
just
some?
retired Ash. He is no longer 10. He
Okay,
is new Pokemon trainers are being brought in. Like they just
okay.
announced no more Ash.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Um
After
but they
20
were
years, huh?
yeah, they
When they
were
retired him, wasn't he
following.
like 14 or something? Did he grow up at all in that time?
I don't know.
Maybe
I
this.
do know that the Sun and Moon series got a lot looser with the animation.
Mm,
So there's some really fun, goofy animation in the Sun and Moon
good.
series.
Hmm.
My only question is, did Jesse James and Meowth ever get married? Like to
No,
each other?
no, because James is gay.
That's true. That's true.
That doesn't mean they can't get
But they're
married.
like a platonic poly couple.
Yeah,
Or
it's
thruple.
like maybe they want to get married for the legal benefits.
Yeah. They're criminals. They don't care about the law.
Maybe they want to get married for the social benefits.
Team Rocket doesn't
I
have dental. It's a problem.
um yeah, people get married for different reasons.
Yeah.
Maybe they just wanted to share the same address, or maybe not. We don't
So they
know.
could formally adopt Meowth.
There it is. That's what it was.
Anyway, I am running out of steam. I think I'm gonna call it a night here pretty quick.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's
Look,
almost 10. We
yeah,
can
we're getting
call.
at that point. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you for showing me all these Pokemons. I
no
learned so
problem.
much. So yeah, hope I wasn't like hogging the conversation.
No, that
This
was
was
fun.
No, it was fun to teach you about pokes.
Do you like to talk about Pokemon? I one of these days, Cal, I want to do a night where you describe Digimon to me and I try and draw them.
Oh, that,
Well,
that sounds like a lot of
I'm
fun.
I'm up for that.
Cause like the
Anytime.
last time we did that was very funny.
Yeah, because there's that one Digimon that's just a sexy Dracula.
Good.
Uh,
There's also one that's just a guy. He's just a guy. He's an angel man,
yep.
but he's just a whole human man with wings.
And then Angel Woman is just a
Sexy
lady
lady.
with angel wings.
Yeah. Digimon, y'all.
I just enjoy hearing you talking about it. So that's
Oh, look up Joe Alolan Raichu.
Oh, that's a good one.
lowland,
A
right?
L O L A N Raichu.
I found it. Lowland Raichu. Um, yeah, that looks like a Raichu.
I like he's part psychic, so he surfs on his tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I found an image where he's walking around with a plate full of pancakes.
Yep.
Yes.
Is
Gotta
that
have
is that
pancakes.
normal?
Gotta have poke
That
pancakes.
was an episode. There was like a pancake contest.
Ah, I see.
They had to race and not drop the pancakes.
Okay. Yeah, Raichus are pretty cool. All right. Well, on that note,
Yeah.
thank you, everyone.
Thanks for joining us for Pokemon Hour.
Yeah,
We will be back at some later date.
yeah. Y'all are here next week, right? So,
Maybe? It is
all right.
Wednesday is when I have to set up for Emerald City, but we'll see if I'm still here.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm leaving Wednesday morning, so
Cool.
I can be here, but
I will see
I
where I'm around.
yeah.
well, I can't be here next week. Doesn't matter why, but if I don't talk to y'all, kick ass in Emerald City. I hope it
Thank
goes
you.
well,
Thank you.
and I hope that Emerald City gets its dignity back.
Oof.
Um, also, I'm just jealous because I wish I were in Seattle with y'all, but
Aw.
whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
I hope that they fix the HVAC and that there's actually air circulation this year, because last year the air quality
Uh,
was in the red. We had a
oof.
friend walking around with an air quality
the
monitor, and it was not good.
The
Alright.
there is still not a map. They won't show us the
No.
map.
No.
They're hiding.
Release the map.
Yeah.
Alright.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Alright.
Once again,
Yeah.
please back my Kickstarter.
Yeah. Links in the
like
chat.
you
Thanks
are.
all for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah.
Stream over. Alina, have you seen Delicious in Dungeon yet? Yeah, you especially need to watch Delicious in Dungeon. You need to know about my boy Chilchuck, who's the best character. And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave you to getting some rest.